Hello guys, Anthony here, and I figured I'd come by and do a little fun video, and it'll kind of involve you guys kind of giving your 2 cents, because, yeah, so Resident Evil 2 Remake's going on. A lot of stuff's been going on with that. They're working on it, and yeah, so with Resident Evil 2 Remake coming out eventually, and we don't know when, it kind of raises the question, what about Resident Evil 3? Because we all love Resident Evil 3. It's a part of the Raccoon City trilogy, if you will. And, yeah, I mean, it's just a classic, and people love this game just as much as 2. And, you know, they're very similar, and they also have their own specific... 3 has its own specific quality to it because of, like, Nemesis, and obviously Jill is, like, a fan favorite. So there's a lot of things that it has that we would love to see in kind of a newer light, especially, like, the gunpowder mixing and stuff, which is still a really, I think, underrated feature, because I thought that was really cool. Maybe, I guess I want to propose the question of, like, what would you like to see in a Resident Evil 3 remake? Now, because you would like to see a lot of similar things in Resident Evil 2, but obviously we would probably want a fixed camera angle perspective. But what would they want to add new to the game? I was thinking a lot about this and what they can add to kind of make it kind of cool. Because even if they ever did, like, 3, I think 3 should be its own game, remake-wise. But, I mean, even if they did, like, any kind of expansion or DLC or something that had 3 as a whole game or something like that, or if it was, like, extra money, I'd definitely be down for that. Because, I mean, I prefer, like, a physical, like, if they actually did it, gave it its individual attention, because it is a long game. But, I mean, shit. Anything they get a remake of this, I mean, I'll be happy. So whatever they end up doing will be fine. But some stuff that I would like to see is definitely fixed camera angles. I can't even imagine this game without fixed camera angles. So, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, that's still up for debate on whether or not they're doing that for Resident Evil 2. They haven't come out and said it, but they recently said that they have taken note from the negative response from 6. And I'm still working on that review. That's another reason why I'm doing this video, is just to kind of hold you guys over and give you guys something to watch. And, but yeah, so that's the thing, because, like, with Resident Evil 3, if they were to take it back, you know, to where it was, like, I would like to see, you know, what they could do with the new technology. I think that, Resident Evil 2, if they're going to add some, like, new stuff in there, maybe they could add some new enemies as far as, like, Crimson Heads. That would be really fucking badass, because it would kind of stick within the tradition of all the remakes. Like, Resident Evil 1 Remake had Crimson Heads, Resident Evil 2 Remake had Crimson Heads, and 3. Just because I think that would be awesome. Like, imagine if you go to, like, the Clock Tower or something like that, and, like, there's some Crimson Heads in there, or the Dead Factory. Because it's like, I mean, Crimson Heads running around the city, okay, maybe not, but, like, in an enclosed area, like, in Resident Evil 2, like, I don't expect them to be running around, like, in Raccoon City. Like, that'd be cool if they're more, like, spread out. So, like, in Resident Evil 2 Remake, it won't be until you get to the police station. And then Resident Evil 3, if you go to the police station, they're not there. And then they kind of come up later, because you're expecting them, but you don't know when. That would be an awesome, like, theme, because Crimson Heads are pretty fucking deadly. And they're pretty iconic, too, because, I mean, they're just great. You know, they're scary as hell, and, you know, they do, like, a hell of a job. That would be cool if they made it so, like, Nemesis is, like, he'll obviously be redone, and he'll probably look fantastic. But, you know, that would be cool if, like, they just make him a lot more, like, aggressive and a lot more, like, just messed up. Because they can make him, like, more brutal, because now they have, like, the graphics and stuff like that. That would be awesome. Like, not only do you give a reboot to a game, but you also, or not a reboot, a remake to a game, but you also, like, redo the villain as well. Like, you make him up. Even with Resident Evil 2 Remake, that'd be cool if they gave, like, Mr. X and, like, Birkin kind of a new, like, not design, but they keep it like, you know, true to the original, but give it like just that like modern like brutality to it, if you get what I'm saying. Like kind of bring a new approach to it. Because I mean, there's no point of like, you know, trying to do something if like, you know, it's the same, it's too much of the same thing, you know what I mean? So like you're gonna have to end up doing kind of like, you know, stuff that's similar but also incorporate new stuff to it. And I would love for them to kind of like, maybe if you do 2 and 3, there would be a cool like thing where like they can like, because in 2 and 3 they never really mentioned each other. They never like mentioned like any whereabouts, like they never connected in the games. Like obviously the characters never met. I'm not talking about the characters, but like they never like they never, the games never like acknowledged themselves too much, if that makes sense, like of how close they are. So that would be cool if we got some kind of like timeline thing where like if you play 2 and 3 you can kind of see like where every event goes, and like maybe there could be like a cool like I don't know, maybe there could be like a cool, what if they ran it in like parallel where like you can like, if you beat 2 and 3 you can like unlock something where you can like watch the cutscenes like a movie. You know how cool that would be? That would be awesome. Like they ran them in parallel, so you beat 2 and 3 and you watch them and you go like in order from like when everything happened. That would be badass. Like that would be really cool. So stuff like that, because a lot of people, you know, bring up Resident Evil 3 Remake a lot now. Like I keep seeing it a lot, like not only like on you know, on YouTube, but on Facebook and stuff. A lot of people want it too, and you know, and never say never. You know what I mean? Because nowadays, like, you know, especially what Capcom's doing is they're just trying to, you know, get their placement back, you know, and keep fans interested, and they're doing a good job. I mean, you know, I don't really care too much about, you know, all the other stuff that's going on, you know what I mean? Like, you just kind of have to take it one by one, and a lot of people, you know, will criticize, like, Umbrella Corps and all that stuff, but, you know, it's not important, you know, because, like, you can play what you want, you know, you don't have to get the remasters, you know what I mean? You don't have to get Umbrella Corps, like, let them do their thing, you know. Resident Evil 2 Remake is its own thing, so if they ever remake this game, it's going to be its own thing. Like I said, I'd hope, you know, I mean, if they ever made, like, a DLC add-on, if they really didn't feel like making its own individual game, that would be really cool. But I think 3, it's such a big game, just like 2, and, you know, it plays around more with, you know, the city, and I feel like they could do a lot more. I like to see some cool stuff like that, where, if you're gonna do 2 and 3, see, back then, like, I didn't expect them to really pay too much attention to the fans, like, response too much, because they would make them so quick back then, you know what I mean? But now it's to the point where they acknowledge that fans that love 2 will also love 3, for the most part, unless you're a fucking asshole and you just hate, like, everything else, you know? But some people do. Some people just like one game. Some people just like 4. Some people just like, you know, 1. Some people just, yeah, I don't know. But, you know, I like everything, you know, that I like. You know what I mean? If I play something and I like it, you know, I like it. So, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is, like, I'm never gonna shit on anybody for liking something. I would never say you're not allowed to like it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to agree, you know, with everything. You know what I mean? So, like, if I'm making Resident Evil 6 review right now, a lot of people could be like, well, why are you making it, like, what is it, 4 years later? Why are you making a review? Well, because why did I make a Resident Evil 1 review after it's been out for 17 years? Why did I make a Resident Evil 2? Because I can. I could just review the games that I want to review because it's a Resident Evil channel. Also, I just like doing reviews. It's a cool format. And it's fun doing reviews of games that you like to do. And I'm just doing what I like to do. You know what I mean? So, you know, I could review Umbrella Corps when it comes out. You know what I mean? I can review Resident Evil 2 when it comes out. Yeah, it's just like I can. Because why not? I'm playing them. I'm going to be recording them. I'm a Resident Evil fan. I like to express my opinion about it, you know, just like everybody else does in comments and forums and whatnot. So it's like, I can do whatever I want, you know? And I think it's interesting because I want people to hear my opinion on something like 6, where it's a very mixed game. And I am mixed about it, too. It's not like I'm completely like doing it to prove a point. No, it's just cool. Like if I actually put a lot of work into this review, it's going to take a long time. Maybe the end of April it might come out, possibly. But that's all I've been working on because it's just I've been writing and recording and getting all stuff together. So it's a lot of fun, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. So people who watch my stuff absolutely hate 6, and they're not dicks about it. They don't they don't treat anybody else with disrespect in the comments. You know what I mean? That's why I like you guys, because it's a very grounded fan base that I have anyway. I can't really speak for the whole Resident Evil fan base, but yeah, so Resident Evil 3 Remake, what would you guys like to see? I don't want to ramble on too long, but I thought I had some few ideas, and I thought this would be a cool video to kind of spark up some conversation, kind of get you guys involved, and, everybody has Resident Evil 2 on their minds, you know what I mean, a lot. So I feel like this would kind of be an appropriate time to just kind of see what you would like to see, Maybe we could have some cool Mercenaries characters and a new Mercenaries mode, some costumes. That'd be cool if they put like Leon and Claire and stuff and like Ada and all that shit in like Mercenaries mode, and they gave it like their own. That would be cool. Or if they have a battle mode in 2, put Resident Evil 3 characters in there just to tease us, just to be like, we redid it, we redid the model, so could we be redoing a game? If they did that, that would be awesome. I think I'd lose my shit like if they did that. But yeah, so that's that. I just wanted to, do a little quick video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Those are my thoughts on Resident Evil 3 Remake. It is my favorite game, so I figured I'd just shed some light on that. So look forward to the Resident Evil 6 review, and I'll catch you guys next time.